Hello everyone, this is Tom Island and you're listening to Tom's Tips for Telling Your Child About His or Her Autism Diagnosis. If you haven't heard tips 1 through 6 yet, please go and visit those videos and watch them first, because we're about to get into the solution-oriented and next steps after you've told the child about his or her diagnosis. So listen to those first before you get into number 7 here. Let's go to Tom's Tips for Telling, number 7. Let them know they're not the only one and it's not their fault. Let them know they're not the only one and it's not their fault. When I was first told that I had autism, I thought my brain was broken. I thought I knew it was over. It was devastating news, and I cried in my room for about an hour. The pillow was absolutely soaked. But I finally came back and said, Mom, this explains a lot. And I finally had some answers. I did feel like I was to blame or there was something wrong with me, particularly at first. But my parents assured me that it wasn't anybody's fault, particularly mine. It was not my fault. I was not to blame, and I shouldn't kick myself or beat myself up, figuratively, of course, over something that I had no control over, essentially. And more importantly, and this will tie into more tips down the line, I forgave myself and any of my faults or mistakes that I may have made along the way or that I would make. Realizing that it's okay to be who I am, and blaming myself or thinking something wrong with me, that would only hold me back. But as I mentioned in my previous tip, my diagnosis does not have to define me, and your diagnosis does not have to define you. It will only define you if you let it. And any self-destructive behavior you have against yourself, whether you hold a grudge against yourself or somebody, you can't forgive, you can't put the past behind you, that's ultimately going to hurt you. It's going to eat away at you. That's why you owe it to yourself to see that you are not to blame. Forgive yourself and others, and you'll be happier and ready to move forward in life. So again, you're not the only one. There are many other people with autism, as we'll talk about in a moment, and it's not your fault. Take it from me, it's not your fault. Okay, we're going to get into tip number 8 next. Visit my website, thomasisland.com. See you in a moment.